Hello Capricorn, kia ora koutou katoa, welcome to my YouTube channel. Now let me see, I have already, I did try and start to do these videos, but your video, sorry, about 10-20 minutes ago, but just things went a little bit not in the right direction, put it that way. So, and there's a little bit of, I think, what's the word, disruption that was going on. So I just wanted to sorry, I'm just having a drink, and that's why I'm swallowing. It's going to still get the taste of it in there. But also I lit some sage, and there was a whole lot of smoke. It's super smoked out, so my space, so it's like whoa. So I've just started again and just lessened that. So there's obviously some sort of clearing or some energy, some negative energies, or so this is probably why I've got to, before I started to, maybe not for all of you, but for some of you, but anyway, they're just going to give you, Spirit are just bringing in the sage, but I've got some mugwort in there, as well as Palo Santo, the blessing stick energy with the Palo Santo. And the mugwort is a lot like the sage, same sort of thing, clearing negative energies, disharmonious energies. And I just wanted to say too, along with that, because it started to come up before about, when we're using sage, there have, some believe, it clears everything away, so negative and positive energies down there. So for me, that may be so for them, but my intention, that is more focused on clearing the negative energies. Therefore, in doing that, it allows the positive energy to shine through more so than the not so, the lower density sort of energy, or the chaotic energy, and rather than that being more felt than the positive energy. That is what I am in shifting. So therefore, some believe it will, clear that, but also replenish the positive energy. And so, and that's what I mean by that. It just takes the focus more on the positive, because for some reason we tend to feel a lot more easier or affected by, not everybody, the not so good energies, always tend to sense that more than that, and that'll be the one that'll figure out, that will stand out more so. So anyway, that's where they're going with that. So don't be, for those of you that already know that, that's awesome. So those of you that don't, obviously, don't freak out that it's going to remove all the negative, positive energy, because it's just going to enhance it and make it more, I think. So when I talk about negative, it's not necessarily like anything really spooky bad going on, and it's really just balancing the energies within the space where you are, basically. So therefore, removing, clearing, cleansing that energy that, like I say, is causing that a little bit of disruption in the moods, or whatever that is. So whether it be spiritual, mentally, emotionally, I mean, of course we're going to be doing things, or you're going to be doing things to enhance the positive side coming out, and not creating or adding to the chaos through arguments, through thinking negatively, through judgmental things, or whatever it is. You're going to be reversing that and bringing more positive energy, and the way you're thinking, being, doing things, and that sort of thing. So there may be a little bit of an imbalance in that way with you, and maybe not necessarily with you, it may be with people in your house, okay, or people in your space, people in your family or your community or whatever. Okay, so I'm just wafting some of that around, and asking the angels and the light keepers here, the keepers of the light that are here, your guides and your tupuna ancestors, and that to help you to clearing that space, your space, and even you, whatever it is, or whoever it is that you wherever it is in your space, and what it is for you, so you can just be in that nice balanced space. Okay, so anyway, going back to my original introduction, what I normally do, is, welcome. So this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. So I do encourage checking out what your other signs are saying for you, especially if you're not really, if this isn't fully resonating with you, and you may want to take a deeper look in your emotional side and your moon sign and or your rising sign, depending on, and or your Venus sign, rising, yeah, I was going to say rising sign, I already said that, but so somebody's actually really wanting to get going. So there seems to be some sort of a momentum or getting up and moving and shifting and creating, clearing clutter and that sort of thing for you. So anyhow, oh my God, I've just gone off track again. So, well, let me see, take a breath. Silence, calm, and the words that are coming through. Yeah, so anyway, we're going, I'm just listening to see whether we're, and getting them just to tie-ho a little bit. So, yeah, so thank you for watching my videos. If these resonate with you, that's awesome. Please, subscribe to my channel, and also, like give me a thumbs up or, leave me a comment, whether that be on this platforms, on, YouTube, that would be great, but either on Facebook as well. So either way, yeah, let me know how that gets on for you. That I'm it's always good to get some sort of feedback, and a gauge of how things are working out. So anyway, if you don't know what your other signs are, there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that has a free calculator on it, and it will work it out for you. Okay, now we're going to get going. There was something else I think I was going to talk about, but anyway, the gist of it is covered. So we'll go here. So I'm using the Angel Oracle deck, this one here, Archangel Oracle deck. Oracle cards to start off with, and I was really going to do a mind, body, spirit, soul sort of flow going across, and or what's in your head space or your thoughts, your heart space, and some guidance with how you guidance is and either it could be encouragement, a little bit of clarification about, how to move through it, just some guidance in that sense. Whoa. So first off, and this is about breathing here. I've got Archangel Raphael here, and he talks about, taking several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. So Archangel Raphael, he's the leading one there. So in your heart, in your mind space, it's like going into that space here and do the breathing, because it really does help to help settle down, our energy or your energy. I know for me it does, and therefore I'm able to it calms me down a bit, with whatever is going on. But even if there is nothing going on, I still like with the breathing exercises, it keeps me in that more of a Zen space, or when I'm doing any sort of clearing in between as I'm prepping, or, winding, prepping for the day, or if I'm winding down for the day, or if I just feel like I need to go or want to take a few moments, I will, just go into meditation, and sometimes it's just that breathing for a few moments. Okay, so breathing. Therefore around the mind to help, settle the mind. Okay, then clairvoyance. So there's something there with Archangel Raziel. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully, so you can clearly see the heavenly love. So some of you, whatever is going on, it may be that there may be a little block in the sense, and you may be resisting, or there may be just a little block that you're not seeing clearly what it is that you are needing to see, or something that's there. And I'm feeling like for some of you it's there, but you're just not seeing it. So there's a little bit of a mindset thing that's going on there. But anyway, Archangel Raziel will help you there. Said that he'll come in and help you. And the other thing is, like here, like we've got this one here is clearing your space. So Archangel Jophiel comes in, and she's talking about, getting rid of clutter, clearing the energy around you, and using feng shui. Okay, so that's Archangel Jophiel. So part of it is like with, like I say, is using the sage, and some people use rosemary, dried rosemary. I have, dried rosemary or lavender. If you've got lavender in your garden and it's starting to wind down, and or maybe winding up, depending on where you are in the world, picking some of that and binding it and drying it a little bit and then burning it will be nice aroma in your space. And then we have here on the on a soul level. So this is on a spiritual level. Here is where Joe Fiel has come through. So it could be not necessarily on a physical level, decluttering, but on saying that when we do declutter, and I know from my own experience, when I am physically decluttering, it takes you into that emotional or the mental space or thinking space about things that have come up. So it helps when, that same sort of process is like acknowledging and, that something needs to be released with the decluttering on that side of things as well. And then we have clear audience here on the soul level. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people, okay? So Archangel Zadkiel is like saying there, and I feel like that you will know that there are people here or around you that have been, sharing some sort of guidance in some way or form. And maybe you're just not, for some of you, not all of you, are not ready to hear it, or maybe you're actually, when I say hear it, I mean like take it and acknowledge it, process it, absorb it, and that sort of, and then go from. And yes, we can all hear it, but are you actually taking it in? So there's something, some of you may not be actually like taking it in, and some of you may be starting to take it in. Actually, I just realized I didn't say this is for May 2021. So then we have in here divine order, Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. And, and sometimes, even though there's this great big mess or whatever it is, or chaos or disruption or, upset at the, sometimes, unfortunately, but fortunately, depending on which way you look at it, and the way I see it is like, there's sometimes, things need to go in a specific way, in a certain way, and sometimes it can bring up a little bit, or a lot, or not a lot, depending on how you see it. It bring up a little bit of, something may bubble up and be, not everybody's going to see it in the way that it comes out, and it's there's a little bit of disruption sometimes, and it needs to go that way in order to, for things to get to a place where it can, enlighten or reveal certain things, and that need to be done to correct it, to bring it more into alignment with what we're talking about, with correcting it, tweaking it so it works for the greater good of one and all at the end of the day. So there is a divine order in things. So just, I'm feeling this is like holding your space, clearing your space as well. And what I'm hearing and seeing is, like for some of you, or a lot of you, actually, it's just going through the motions, basically. And things will start to, like with this divine order, things will start to become clearer as you're going along. So, and you start to see it. So breathe along the way. So here we have the Lovers card in the next row here. So we probably go down 3 rows and we'll just see what happens. So basically what I asked is for, what does Capricorn most need to know right now to help them through whatever it is that, they're going through. And so just remember, this is what I was going to say, is just remember that these are general reads. So they may or may not resonate with you. If they do, that's wonderful. If they're not, well, check out what your other signs are. And if they're not, the other thing is that it may more so be more of a forecast for you, which is why you're not getting it at the moment. So in the next row, we have the Lovers. So there's something about, I'm hearing like duality there with some of you, the duality in the sense of the masculine and the feminine, and going into that space of, loving thyself, basically, or building on that relationship where you do love, of getting to love yourself for who you are, what you are, blah, 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 blah. Even all the, the mistakes in the past, and so I'm hearing for some of you may see them more as regrets, but it's like, it's been a learning a learning journey for everybody, no matter where we are in the world or whatever we're doing, you know, in our lives. There's a learning along the way. So with the lovers, I do feel like some of you, there may be something going on where there is a new love that is coming in, which is causing this chaos and or this disruption or distraction, and that's in your life, you know, at the moment. So for some of you, and it may be, you know, because some of you may be already in a relationship, and there may be, I feel like some of you, there is, you know, for some of you there is a person there that is that may be coming into your life, and it's, you know, it's kind of throwing you off track because you've maybe not expected it, or you've been waiting for someone to come into your life, and now that they're there, it's like, oh shit, what do I do? You know, blah blah blah, and it's brought up some of these old, you know, limiting belief things, patterns, as well as conditioning, and as well as, you know, things of the past, you know, past relationships. But I mean, you know, what has been happening or has happened in past relationships. So what I'm hearing, like with Spirit, is like, you know, not, you know, this is about exploring and having, you know, going in there and creating, if not with another person, it's like just going in there and looking at the relationships, looking at your relationship with yourself, basically. It's going back there for some reason. It's like finding that balance in there, finding out who you are, but breathe. And if you are going into a new relationship, or somebody is paying attention to you, that when you're already in a relationship, and even if you're not, there could be something going on in there where it's like, oh, going on there. But I do feel like for some of you, then it is, you know, on saying that for some of you, there is something going on in your relationship where there is a something going on within your relationship with your current partner, and that sort of thing. So there, you know, it's what I'm hearing is there's some sort of change within the relationship, and maybe it's for those of you that are like that, they're just being mindful about, and trying to be as clear as possible with those, with that, you know, there is a new found love within a relationship, or there may have been some distance, and some of you may be like working on a relationship, and trying to bring it together again to rekindle what you have once had. But there is something about, you know, here with the Star of Hope that's, you know, in next door to this card. So it's like, you know, like seeing hope and looking for hope in there. And maybe some of you have been looking for hope within a relationship, or going into one, or you know, if you're single, there may be somebody that's new that's come into your life, or that has noticed you. So this one here, I'm going down now. So there's something about being protective, or, you know, making clear boundaries, and with this one here. So it's for some of you, it's like just breathe it out and not overthinking it. If this is you, it's kind of going, you've gone maybe in your head. So with the clairvoyance, is like with your heart space, or, you know, with what you're seeing or what's going on in your head. I want to go back to this one again. Is like, you know, seeing, you know, you've put out for hope, that hoping that somebody or things would change, or somebody would come into your life, and it's like, now, okay, what's going on here? Sort of energy. Now I went across there, but I'm going to go this way here. Go across the earth, and I go on that with this one here. This is kind of like all over. It feels like to me all over the place, because something must be all over the place. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't normally do work this way, but there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of new stuff going on, as well as old stuff coming in. But it's like there's definitely a sorting out coming up with you this May. It's all good stuff, because it means that you're chucking out all the stuff that does not serve, and there's some I'm feeling like there, for a lot of you, there's some major thought pattern, you know, perspective, you know, way of thinking things is just like, and you've probably been working on it, I feel, for a lot of yous. I'm just, yeah. in the past anyway, but now it's starting to come more to light with you. That's where this clairvoyance card is coming in. It's like it's more coming to light, and it's starting to, you're starting to awaken to it more. You're starting to take notice of it more. But I feel like some of you've had no choice but to take notice of it, because it's been like right there, and it's even, I'm feeling like some of you, it's like right there, and some of you aren't even actually seeing it. It's like, but you're trying to dodge it. And so, and I feel like, you actually are seeing it, but you're trying to dodge it, because it's like, do I want to go down that road? But whatever it is, if you allow yourself, because it's like the star here, for me, I keep hearing the Star of Hope. There's about, sharing and, collaboration as well, but it's like making something work, and there's a clearing energy and aligning your chakras there up as well. So I'm hearing like grounding, clearing, cleansing, grounding, which is why we've done a bit of this too, so you can keep yourself here to find some sort of balance within your life and with all of your energy, basically. Because if you allow yourself to see whatever is going on, deal with it, sort it out, there is hope, basically. Because here they have in the the Six of Pentacles here is like, comes a time where there is a little bit more balance in your life. So where once you may have not had much money to give, as per se, just metaphorically as well, you now find yourself in a place where you're able to give more. So there's that, there's that having a little bit of give and take, like this is where they're going with that, is having a little bit of give and take. So where once upon a time, like I say, you may have been the beggar or the person with no money, now you can. And the scales have tipped in your favor, okay? But then on the other hand, it may be that you, because I'm hearing like there's a give and a receive there of energy, okay? An exchange of energy, really, that was what is going on in this one. And I feel like for some of you, it's like you have put yourself in that position of being the one that is receiving. So it's like, this is about shifting your energy as well into the one that's not necessarily always receiving, but also giving as well. So there's that sort of energy there. But then I'm hearing on the other side of it that some of you are feeling like your mind might have gone, it's like, I'm going to be broke, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, if you're going to keep thinking like that, that is what is going to happen. So it may be that you are learning to I'm hearing like the opposite end of the scale there is like you are maybe learning to receive as well instead of giving. Okay, and some of you, it's like you may have, like I say, it's what I'm hearing from this. It's like finding yourself on the opposite side of the scales, basically. So by clearing your space, and then we're going over here, with Archangel Jophiel, it's like this Emperor. It's like in a way you're clearing this clutter. I'm going mind, body, spirit, soul. It is like, I'm feeling this is all over, all round, general, all over, all round. Okay, where they're going with that. The Emperor has come through here with this fire energy, but he's like, he's being more in control of his destiny, basically, and he's like leading, he's taking on that leadership role. So I feel like, with you, if you allow yourself to, clear and clutter your space, in all aspects of you, start to come into like seeing more clearly and having more energy and motivation. God, this is kind of interesting today. Motivation is to get moving into doing what it is that you're wanting to do, because here, there's an opportunity here that comes down here with the Ace of Pentacles. So something, new, because the Emperor is about creating new things. He does. He's a bit like, in a way, the magician, in a way. He's that authoritative figure, and he will, this is about making it happen, creating, allowing it to happen. So it may be, that you may end up asking people to help you as well, or employing people to help you in some way or form, to get a project, to get moving and your life moving in whatever form that is. So, but there's definitely something new, a new gift here, or a new opportunity in some way, a new loose of energy, because Pentacles is not just about, the financial side of things. It is also about, family. It can be also about like energy levels and that sort of thing. But I'm hearing here too, there's a new a lease of life for some of you, if you choose to look at it, if that's what it means to you. But it's definitely a new beginning in some way. But I do feel like too, there's newness in some of you. That maybe there's a new member of the family coming in, on saying that. So, but it's like, it's just going to take some decluttering of, of old stuff, past stuff, and even recent stuff too, that come to light. So the Emperor is here to help you move, get in your power, be in your power. And it's interesting, that I see that, because I actually see that as this part here in the Lovers, here is where in that part there in the background, as I actually see that as, for some reason, like the uterus basically, and in the fallopian tube. So some of you, which is kind of what I've picked up here on this Ace of Pentacles, there may be a new member coming in the family, like a new baby or a new child. It may be an adopted child. Who knows? I don't know. But there's someone new coming at, maybe a new family member, basically, for some of you. But it means I'm also hearing like there's some sort of success in that way, or in abundance. Like it's like you've seen, that's in this card here. It's like I'm feeling there's a sense of abundance or success, and you're feeling that you're able to give more energy, or to give money, whatever that is, and help out family members, and help yourself out even, or whatever it is. But I'm hearing here on a soul level, it's like this with the clear audience with Zadkiel, it's like he's talking about, and Spirit are talking about, you're hearing, you're starting to understand more about what is going on, because there are some choices here with the Chariot. So that the choices that you make are clearly your choices, and you're the one that has to make, that can make them. But it's like taking a little breath and breathe, as to so you can be in a nice space to actually to do it, to make that decision. So you're of where they're going there. So you that you made the right decision for you, or the best possible decision, with the information and the energy behind what you have and what you know now, to make that decision. With this one with the Chariot, gosh. So there's something about new doors opening. It's like a whole lot of doors opening, and there's a little bit of frustration here, where there's always conflict with fives, but there's a little battle with yourself in the sense, maybe some of you are literally having a spiritual battle with yourself, and there is a banter within your mind and spiritually about your belief systems and where you're going to go. So some of you, I feel like it's like, and what you're going to do next, and how you're going to do it. But there's something about in which way you're going to move, because these here, it's like there's something like settled, but you've stopped to contemplate as to which way you're going to move. And there may be like this like it says here, this battle of which way am I going to go, and also who are you fending off others' thoughts and feelings. So which is why this is they've brought in the mugwort and the sage to help clear that energy, so you can be in your space, so you can think clearer for yourself. Because when you do figure it out, there's there's this divine order that comes up. So I do feel like, in a way, for a lot of you may have been like corralled, pushed, shoved, in a specific direction, but in order to see, feel, hear, know, sense which way it is that and make your mind up, basically, which way you're going to go. Because, and then we have the cups here, with this Four of Cups here, which is like, there's something there about, to do with emotions, and you may, oh gosh, this is not coming up. Something's like, it's not coming up, it's not coming up, it's not coming out. But see, he's sitting underneath that tree where there's those cups, but there's also another cup, and I'm just in the clouds here. It's like there's a gift being there or something there, but you're just not seeing it. So going back to here, the clairvoyance side of things, you're just not seeing it. So this part of this clearing your space here with Archangel Jophiel is, clearing that emotional clutter of what serves you, no purpose for your highest good. And, once you, move that, understand that, heal, you're able to heal that. But there is definitely something moving along the way there. So there seems to be like some sort of, this one here is a scales of, not, well, in a way, things will turn around. So it can be a good fortune card as well, is what I'm hearing. As well, if something is turning around and more into your favor, because now, like, I'm hearing more so, it's like there are, the scales of justice in a sense, but there's more of a balance where you're able, like I say, be able to give more money or receive money, and because for some of you there's a two-way thing going on there, but something is turning around anyway. Cool. Because we have the Empress here, okay, so she is all about new beginnings as well. She's pregnant in this in here, and so she's about fertility. So there's something new coming up, or new being born, you could say, a new era to things. So there's definitely something new happening here, but it's because you've taken action and you're doing things. So don't try. What I'm hearing is not to poke your nose in to try and make things, fast track things. It's like being mindful, being aware, consciously aware of what yourself and what is going on around you, but not to like try and rush things. Otherwise, it's like it'll take longer, basically. So here we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Two of Swords. So yeah, so the Ace of Swords, there's a new perspective, some changes in, the way that you're thinking, that sort of truth. There's a new truth coming through. It's like, okay, I figured it out with that. And then then here we have like the Two of Swords after that. So there's something about you moving into that space of, not really knowing what's happening, but, I'm just going to keep going this way because it's like, and I'm just going to listen to my truth and be honor my truth and my knowing and my intuition as well. And it's like, I feel like there's a part, and then I'm going to decide, I'm just going to take a moment to decide and something that is going to be, what I'm hearing is something that is going to be in the sense that, where we're going, for the highest and greatest good of myself and all, basically one and all is where they're going with that. So it's like she's sitting there, even though her swords are crossed and she's blindfolded. It's like I'm hearing and I'm seeing is like they're talking about meditation. They don't always depict this as that. So, but there are calmer waters out the back there, behind her. There are a few rocks, in the background, but behind her. But you could see them as blocks, or you can see them as, they could be roadblocks, or well, not roadblocks on the road, of course, in this one, but things to watch out for. But look in the background. There's some land in the background there too, which is ready to be, for seeds to, something ready to grow, move into, that's new, a blank canvas, a clear canvas. So there's something there for you coming up, like a different way of looking at things, basically, as well. But it's like being in your power. What I'm hearing is like speaking your truth, being in your truth, basically, because when we follow our truth and our, there's that sense of being in our own power. Okay. Cool. So there's a lot, sounds like there's a big month coming up for you, emotionally wise. Some things may, somebody might poke the bear in you, but it's not, it's just like not necessarily poking back, but it's finding a way, like breathe. and process it, understand what that's about, not allow yourself to take it on board, but and it's just like sending that away with love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, and adventure, and just like across all time, space, and dimension, and just let it go. So you can move on in your own truth with what it is that you need to be doing for you. Because it's going to be an interesting month, and how you need to do it for you. Cool. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that makes sense to you. And you kind of get an idea where they're going with that. But this is really, really about what I'm feeling is about being, mindful, being in, clear of mind, in your truth, so you could be more in your power, communicate clearly, succinctly, and not so much, to the point, but it's that in that sense with clarity, basically, to yourself and to others, and with love. And and so we will leave that there. And God bless you, God protect you. We'll see you probably in a couple of weeks, and I may do a mid-May, and then we'll do the and at the end of May, we'll go into June. Anyway, we'll see you then. Bye for now.